In today's edition of Who the F Thought That Would Go Well, a captain motorboating a sergeant during their promotion ceremony. This is not a joke. This is not a laughing matter. This is something that seriously did happen. Now, it looks like Army Times has dove further into this and has talked more about it with some more official sources that are more relevant to the situation, and they say the following. A former Louisiana National Guard officer was allowed to retire after a general court-martial convicted him of charges stemming from the quotations motorboating a subordinate soldier during an informal promotion ceremony while deployed to Jordan in May 2021, Army Times has confirmed. They identified it as Captain Billy Joe Crosby Jr. I don't know if I'm the only person that can sit here and say the last name is just a little too close for comfort, but we'll just digress from there. And then on top of that, you have to ask, why motorboating? Why out of anything that you could do?
They look pretty good. Are they real? Are they built for speed or for comfort? What'd you do with them? Motorboat? You play the motorboat? You motorboating son of a bitch. You old sailor, you. Where is she? She still in the house?
What is wrong with you?
Now, it does say that he was initially charged with abusive sexual contact and conduct unbecoming of an officer, according to court records that were obtained by the Army Times. Actually, the officer in charge an outpost in Jordan. Now, to give context, as you can see from the photo, he is a much older gentleman. That is a captain, so he... And also from his uniform, you can tell he's prior enlisted. So looking at this, I have to say, you would think somebody with this much time in service would obviously understand where lines were drawn and, have some kind of common sense, especially as having some prior enlisted experience. Now, it does look like they say Rivero, the spokesperson for the Army, had said that multiple soldiers immediately reported the behavior and Crosby pled guilty at trial. Now, that's important because the outcome of this trial has allowed him to be able to retire and still obtain a paycheck. And that's because these things were actually brought down to a further lesser charge, which include consummated by battery, a non-sexual offense, and a conduct unbecoming records revealed. Now, according to what they have seen in the records, it does look like from his prior service time, he was in 1989 during the invasion of Panama, but it does look like he was confined for 30 days as a result of this. That when Crosby had learned that the junior soldiers was selected for promotion, Crosby reportedly announced to her twice that he intended to quotations motorboat her during a promotion ceremony because the Army Combat Uniform's chest place rank patch was intended for such actions. Now, a lot of people, to reflect on this, can look at the Navy because the chest ranks were placed in a similar location. It made a lot of women uncomfortable, and they felt like the ranks were harder to see, and it made them uncomfortable, and that was part of why they changed to the black tab versus the camouflage one. So it's kind of interesting to see how people were saying that this could not be sexualized, but it looks like you could find a way to sexualize anything. Now, it does look like there were some leading events up to this that were not going to shock people that he would do such an act, because it does look like Crosby had requested that there's another non-commissioned officer that he wanted to bring this junior soldier with him driving to a trip onto another base in Jordan. The NCO told investigators that Crosby requested the soldier's company because, quotations, he liked looking at her tit. I'm surprised after that somebody actually would not report this gentleman because, there's obvious, verbal instances. There's obvious, offenses of this through multiple people where I kind of wish someone spoke up before the physical act actually took place, because obviously it's not tolerated. They then go on to say, during work the following day, according to a prosecution motion, Crosby, quotations, approached the junior soldier, told her to stand up, placed the rank in front of her chest, leaned in to grab the rank with his teeth, then placed his face between the junior soldier's breasts and vigorously moved his head from side to side between her breasts while still holding the rank between his teeth. I have to ask, who does this without thinking that they are going to not get in trouble? Probably somebody that's been in as long as this guy. Let's just be honest with you. It's kind of frustrating to say because it's like I don't see much outrage as it once was, but to see that, we're sitting here still with people that are able to do stuff like this, and, it's just baffling to me, to be honest with you. And remember how I said the plea of guilty actually brought down some of the charges? That's because Army Times has brought up this fact that because the fact that the charges were less and that these were now no longer sexual in nature and they were brought down, it says that the deal allowed them to reduce the charges and protect his retirement. The removal of the abuse sexual contact charge, which was dismissed as part of the deal, also meant that he did not have to register as a sex offender. And they actually do say that he was actually given a lighter sentence here, and that's because the judge that oversaw this case was able to punish him up to 120 days. However, because of, I'm assuming, his long tenure, probably not having issues before, he's only sentenced to 30 days. He did not have any kind of reprimand, fines, forfeitures of pay, or anything like that. So realistically, it was like a 30-day slap on the wrist and a see you later. Now, it should be noted that this unit is not the most family-friendly, I should say, as it looks like they were actually put on the Texas border previously in order to help and assist down there with that mobilization. However, it looks like due to disciplinary issues, a lot of the troops or the service members that were down there were actually removed. Some of this included alcohol-related incidents and things like that. If you guys don't remember, we talked about this in the Operation Lone Star thing, where there were a lot of people dealing with housing issues, pay issues, disciplinary issues. I mean, they were all just coming one after another after another. And this has been actually confirmed as true by a member that is actually at this unit. And this person says, "This is 100% true. This happened at AJ. I'm here now." This captain pinned the rank on the female soldier with his teeth and proceeded to motorboat her in front of the formation. He received 30 days of confinement. And it looks like on top of that, people here are actually trying to give him leeway or trying to understand because this seems very out of character. And this person responded to that by saying, was he having a mental breakdown or drunk or already getting brought up on charges for something else? Cannot fathom the thought process that someone brought there. And they said, Edit just read the Army Times article and was thinking the fact that he's like 55 years old captain and not a 26-year-old somehow makes this even more inexplicable. But on the other hand, apparently he participated in the 1989 invasion of Panama. I would love to do the TDS Council making the argument for unresolved trauma from the Panamanian invasion. And this has even brought some notable figures within the Army to speak out on this topic as well, which include Amuse, which she writes here, sharp training seems to be only important during the time of the first slide to the last one, and says #official source. So this brings us to the question for you guys. What do you guys think about this situation? Do you think that the punishment met the crime? Do you think that there should have been more here? Do you think he should have received a retirement? Do you think it should have been taken away? Because obviously, this very much will not affect his civilian career, as he's still going to get a retirement when he leaves. But let me know down in the comments below what you guys think about this, and if you guys have any other topics or subjects you want me to cover, hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.